Hello viewers, welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures, and in this video I am reviewing Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 8, The Haunting of Villa Diodati. So this is one by one of my favourite writers who was on Emmerdale, and she did a brilliant job, Maxine Alderton, and I'm really happy that she's getting more stuff to do for Series 13 as well, and in the hope that eventually she will be taking over as showrunner, because I thought she pitched this, she just did a perfect job with this story, with the humour and the romanticism and the characterisation. It was brilliant. So we start and it's raining and it's Lake Geneva, June 1816, and we're looking through the window and the Byron and the fam, Byron and his fam, they're complaining about the weather. Claire Claremont's asking for a story and Mary's like, yeah, let's do a scary story, like Tales of the Dead Thunderstorm. And then they jump a bit because there's banging on the door, and then Byron gets them all to answer the door with him, and then there's lightning. They answer the door and the lightning strikes, and there's the Doctor with her fam, and they all scream, and that was really funny. And then the Doctor says good evening, and they're all soaking wet because the Doctor parked the TARDIS miles away, and Graham and the circuit paper's got soggy, so it's not working, and Graham's all talking fancy, trying to be all old fashioned, and he's making a bit of a mess of it, but he's really funny. And the Doctor looks really cute. She's like, please let us know, please let us in. And then when Byron says they can come in, it's like that video with that dog in waiting at the dog training session, and he's waiting for like sit, and then he goes ah, and I thought that was cute because I thought it was really funny. So they're all saying wow, this, and Yaz is like, on the night that inspired Frankenstein, and then they're all like, no one do this, no one snog Byron. This is what Yaz says. So the Byron gang, they go to see him because they think, oh, they're going to be all telling the stories and writing the stories between them. Then they're just playing games and dancing. And then they say, let's show them the dance. And they have a dance sequence, which I loved. And then the Doctor's like avoiding Byron's attentions. And they're all having a great time. And then and Graham's doing this with his outfit, and then Graham decides he needs the loo, so he goes off to try and find the loo, and the Doctor's like, why don't you write a ghost story, why don't we have a scary story, trying to encourage him to write the story. And then there's a baby locked in a room, in his room, and it's William Shelley, Mary and Percy's child. And then the vase gets thrown across the corridor. It's like, it's, and then so the maid was scared by that. And then Percy is conspicuously absent from the Byron shenanigans. Then a picture falls off the wall in the corridor. And at first I thought it was like a spider, but it was the front part of a hand with the fingers. That was scary. And then it was really good because they had lightning all the time, and people kept appearing in the lightning. It's like, and then you see a ghost, and then it go away again. I thought it was really cool. And then you see Claire Claremont, and she's trying to pick the lock into Byron's room and look for letters and what he's wrote about her. And she's like, she's so in love with him, but the more she loves him, the more it increases his mysteriousness and enigma. And then Yaz is like, she can relate to that because her person's an enigma, and Yaz saying, yeah, well, my person's a bit different, and I think, yeah, that she's definitely talking about the Doctor. What I was slightly disappointed about this year, I thought, oh, because we had Ryan and Graham had their Grace and bonding storyline in series 11. I thought this year we're going to have Yaz falling in love with the Doctor and telling her family that she's in love with the Doctor, but we didn't hardly got anything. We got the tiniest little looks, so I was a bit disappointed there wasn't more about that. So anyway, Byron's talking to the Doctor, and he's asking where the Doctor's parked the carriage, and the Doctor's, where's Percy? Where's Percy, Shelley? And Ryan, they're in like one of the drawing rooms, and Ryan is playing chopsticks, and I thought that was really sweet, and he's talking to Mary about how his nan told him to not give up and keep trying. I thought that was really sweet. But Dr. John Polidori, he's really grumpy because he don't want to hear chopsticks. And then the Doctor mentions that she's met Ada, Byron's daughter. Then Graham's talking to Ryan. He's like, right, mate, there ain't a cosy in here, there's nothing. And I thought that was funny. And I apologise adding up Ryan's playing the piano and stuff. So he challenges Ryan, I challenge you to a duel. And he goes off, gets his pistol, and Ryan's, oh, he's getting a gun. But then Polidori gets to the door, opens the door, and there's the hand creature, and it comes walking in, and Fletcher, the butler, who's hilarious, he's really good, he hits it with a tray and crushes it, and then the Doctor takes samples a bit, like she did with the soil in series 11. She's like, and she tastes that it's from the 15th century. And Byron very clearly fancies the Doctor. And then they think, oh, the house is evil. And Byron literally has a skeleton in his chamber. It's the skeleton bit, collections of relics from war on his travels. And the Doctor finds this hat, and it's a big fancy military hat with a big plume, and starts puts it on, and like, oh, I love good plume. I thought she's so cute in this episode. And then they find this skeleton, and there's the bits of the skeleton all moving. So and then Shelley, they think Shelley is at the Mason, I don't know how to say it, but the cottage that him and Mary have like renting. They thought he was there. And then Graham's in the parlour, and he's looking after Polidori. He's fell asleep, and then the lightning flashes, this ghost of a maid and a young girl, they appear, and there's a big plate of like little pieces of bread and salad appears, and says, oh, food, belters. But then they disappear again, and they're like ghosts, and they're never explained. And then Ryan, Mary and Yaz going up down the stairs, but when they go down the stairs they end up back at the top of the stairs, and it's like Escher with the stair painting, and that made me think that would be really cool. I know they sort of did it with Castrovalva and stuff like that, but a proper Escher episode with Escher in it, so with loads of optical illusions, that would be awesome. And then they're all like stuck in these loops, and they see this ghostly figure in the lightning. And then they're trying to, Mary Shelley's trying to get to baby William because he's crying. And then the maid tends to William, and there's a flash outside. At first I thought it was the TARDIS, and then Graham is meant to be guarding Polly, but Polly gets up and he's like in a trance, and he leaves through the wall. So Graham's like shooketh, and Graham's like, what's going on? And then the Doctor is also stuck in a room with Byron and Claire Claremont. So they're like all stuck in their own little loops. And then Polidori walks through the wall into the room the Doctor's stuck in. So she has a look. It's like, well, lights are on, we're going on a mini break. Well, that was fun. And it's just like he's dreaming. And then she figures out it's a perception filter. Close your eyes. And so Mary Shelley closes her eyes, and they find they can get through into this corridor. And the Doctor pushes through the wall to find the actual real window, and she's like, oh, it's fine out, but she can't get out, so she bangs her face against this barrier, and they're like, ooh. And then something came to the villa that caused a disturbance. Then they see outside the window this flashing, glowing figure, and he's like a traveller trying to get in. And then he seems emerging, like developing into the corridor outside the doorway, and he's a Cyberman, a lone Cyberman, and he has this, Jack's warning, it's the Cyberman. And the Cyberman, and they say, are you the Guardian? And he's like an unfinished Cyberman. Then Fletcher's calling, and then the Doctor has a big speech about losing people to the Cybermen. She'll not lose anyone else to that. And then the Cybermen hears the baby crying, and then the maid and the baby, she's hiding, and then the Cyberman picks up the baby and he says, don't be afraid, little one, you'll be like us. And then is that, and he has this, then to so trying to fix everything, it's like, what, let's split up. And it's like, really? Let's split up in a haunted house? Yes, with a Cyberman. And then the Cyberman scans the Doctor, and he says, you're a heightened state of anxiety. And the Doctor's like, as I like to call it, Tuesday. And then the house keeps shifting. And then they find this room, which is Percy's room, and there's all writing all over the ceiling and the walls. And then Graham's group goes down to the cellar, and then the Cyberman gets more power by being struck by lightning. And then the Siberium has found a host, apparently. So they find Shelley's words all over his room, and Percy Shelley is in the cellar, and it's him who's the Guardian, because he's absorbed this Siberium sort of soldery metal. And the Doctor runs off, and then the Cyberman's already got Fletcher, like, and Doc's telling him to hide and stay there. And Mary, like, demands to go to Percy. So, and it turns out Shelley can, using this stuff in him, he can move the house. And Shelley was next to the lake, and he saw this like shiny stuff, which was this Siberium stuff, and he picked it up out the lake, and it went into his body, and then he went back to the villa, but he was invisible. So that was him. He was like knocking things off the walls and stuff, and chucking vases. So he wrote all of this stuff that he was psychically getting and stuff all over the walls and that. And so the big choice is that if they kill Charlie and to get the Siberian, or save, like, either kill the poet to save the future or save the poet to keep the timelines, the regular timelines. And the Doctor said words matter. I thought it was an excellent speech, and an excellent speech about being on a mountain in the stratosphere alone. It's like, somebody hug 13 already, please. Like, she never gets any hugs. The fam, that's just annoying me, that they just stand there as that, and the Doctor's all like, I'm alive, and they're like, and like, so it's like, to go from 12 and Clara, and 12, even 12 with Missy got loads of affection, and 10 and Rose, to go from that to the fam, there's throughout going and Luke saying, we're there for you, great. There's no tactileness with the fam, which is really annoying, because Mandip and Jodie have such a great relationship. That, why can't that be in the show? More of that in the show, please, because they're always hugging, but offset behind the scenes. Why can't that be in the show? That annoys me. Because I have like hyper empathy, and really affects my mental health when I want a character to be happy but nobody's hugging them. It's like, please give them love, please give them love. It's like, it really hurts. So the Doctor's like, total stress. And then this Mary Shelley's standing up to the Cyberman, and she's trying to find the emotion in him, saying, you saw my baby, you didn't hurt him, you must be like, you must like be nice, really. And then he grabs Mary, and she realises he's not nice, and he's a monster. And so the Doctor has to give the Cyberman what he wants. He gives him the Siberium, then he teleports away to make his future cyber army. And so the Doctor ended up having to give the Cyberman what it wanted. So, and then Byron is still all, oh, Doctor. And then Claire went, and then he's like, he's like, oh, well, still got Claire lusting after me. But Claire stands up to him and says, tells him to F off, mate, effectively. And then Polidori's a bit amused by that. And the Doctor's like, don't lose hope, guys. And then Graham's like, but what about the maiden, the ghost, they brought me some food? And it's like, no. So that's a big mystery. Then we hear Byron reading his poem, and the line, she was the universe, coordinates with the Doctor's smile, that Yazzy's got the cyber coordinates. So I thought it was a beautiful episode. I really love drawing the portraits for this episode. That video will be up soon, my portrait drawings. I just really, it's perfect, and as excited to have more work by Maxine Alderton. And to be honest, I'm excited to have more and more work from people who aren't into Doctor Who, people who aren't fanboys, the fanboys. Because so far we've had all three have been the fanboys. Brilliant writing and interesting, but they are the original fanboys. So it'd be nice to have people like Maxine Alderton and people who, like Jodie Taylor, who wrote who writes the Chronicles of St Mary's book series. Let's see more people like that in the show who aren't necessarily the fanboy type people, who have a different perspective on the show, because I think it needs that. People keep going on about ratings, which is pointless, because it doesn't. The ratings, they don't actually ask every single person in the UK. They extrapolate from 12,000 households who use this Barb rating system, and extrapolate that to 65 million in the UK to see whether they watched it. But it's just TV is different nowadays. There's like so many other things, and you can watch TV and watch episodes anytime you want nowadays. It's not like you have to sit down and watch it then, or VHS tape it, or you miss it. There's so many other distractions nowadays. So I don't think it's the ratings that are the problem. Is that then people say, oh, there's people who say daft things like, oh, it needs a rest, like, oh, so more of the it doesn't actually identify whether they're general public either, but apparently according to them, more of the general public and aren't as interested according to this rating system, so it lets rest the show. It's like, so you want more people to watch something, so you're going to do that by taking it away from them and hiding it. That doesn't work. It needs more marketing. We need to go back to obviously be more environmentally friendly with it, but more of the pictures of them on cereal packets, collectible cards. That was recycling. Instead of chucking away most cereal packet, you collected the cards, cut it out, made a picture. I want the transfers back. I want stickers and pogs. Doctor Who pogs. Bring Doctor Who pogs. That would be amazing. And crazes and memes and trends. Need to get on board with that more. So, and more books. I know we get, and I want more books. I'm sure they've got enough different writers and teams that they can get more books per year of the current fan, and more of the TARDIS novelisations of the current Who. There's a few coming out this year. There's about 3 or 4 of the new Who target novelisations, which I'm really excited about. But we need more of it. So more of the marketing during Tennant's years. The marketing was great, and the stuff surrounding the show was really good. That's what the issue is, and because they're keeping everything a secret and not doing as much marketing of the show while they're making it, I think that's but it meant that we got some genuine surprises, which was really good. So that was my review of The Haunting of Villa Diodati. I loved it. I thought it was excellent. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Yay!